Just another normal video to get blah blah blah.
Normal video to get blah blah blah.
Just another normal video today, guys. Nothing too crazy. Just a couple normal clips, all right?
Don't get my forehead in it, okay?
Don't get my forehead in it, okay?
Yo, 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 yo. We need to let's run that one back. Yo. Yo. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. We have a few clips we're going to be going over today, and one kind of rather long one. If we have time, we'll get to that one, but I will be saving that one for last because it is really long, and I would have to edit through a majority of it, cringe at, and possibly regret watching some of these. To be honest with you, I haven't even seen these yet, so these will be very interesting. But as always, let's go ahead and jump right into it. And hey, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's do it.
Yourself less available.
Yo.
Don't get too interested. Don't say too much. Never be the first one to reach out. Make him chase you. Don't be the chaser. Like, I understand where you guys are coming from with that. I really do. And it probably is true. It probably works. Yeah. Probably the more uninterested you act around a guy, the more that he's gonna chase you because he's gonna be like, oh, like, why doesn't she like me? I get it. I get it why it works. I just personally reject the idea that you have to be uninterested in a man or you have to dim yourself in order to be liked by a man or to form a genuine human connection. Why do I have to stop myself every time I want to text a man? When did wanting to have a conversation become unattractive? And correct me if I'm wrong, but if a man likes you, wouldn't talking to him and spending more time with him only like make him like you more? Wouldn't that be what he wants? Like,
what?
Here is my opinion on this, and there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of different opinions about stuff like this. When it comes to women and the advice that they get from other women about the types of men that they're trying to involve themselves with, these are never going to be the types of men that would appreciate a woman that would want to talk to them, okay, or that would want to do all of the things that this woman would want to do. Is that guy out there for these women? Absolutely. But then again, they're probably not going to look like the types of men that these women are trying to go for. Okay. Oh God, that is the types of men that these women are going for are not going to appreciate the little quirks and the things that make these women unique. Okay. They are going to have to appeal to a more broad, like she said, that she will have to hide her personality and stuff like this. It's because, well, Dad doesn't like that kind of stuff. And what do I say? You're not going to be in a relationship with these dudes anyways. Okay. This isn't even what we're talking about here. This is part of the delusion where these women think that they are attracting men to be in a relationship when really they're just chasing after these certain types of men.
be what he wants. Like, I feel like that advice of act uninterested, don't do the chasing, don't reach out, don't be the first one to text. I feel like that advice only applies to men who don't actually like you. I think it's a way to create a false sense of liking because actually, more than anything, I think it creates a obsession loop, kind of. Yeah, in a sense, it creates a chase. It puts the chase back on the man, but then what happens once the man gets you? Like, to be in a relationship, you eventually have to, like, spend time with this person. So it's like, once this man gets you, he's no longer seeking the prize, he has the prize, so who's to say, like why wouldn't he just become uninterested again? And maybe once you go through all the effort of all...
Oh shit.
You blew it. Fish.
But what are you doing? What are you doing to keep this man? Okay, because this is where we kind of get sidetracked here. Okay, the number one thing these women have is attraction. These women need to be attracted to these men. So these aren't men that they're choosing because they have good personalities. These are not men they're choosing because we'll be good fathers one day or anything like that, or be good husbands. They don't care. They're choosing men that they find attractive. So do you think that someone like this would have to chase after that man, or would that man approach a woman like this? That's the real question. You can look up the statistics, and for the most part, relationships tend to last longer. The woman is, you could say, more in love with the man. Doesn't mean they don't still fail, and that doesn't mean there can't still be issues. Obviously, it only makes sense because these women do have more options for the most part. I'm not sure how many options this woman right here would have, but I cannot see she is going to be walking around getting I don't really see her getting approached by a lot of different types of dudes.
These months of making this man chase you, acting uninterested, and he finally gets you. Maybe he's developed enough feelings where he stays. But at that point, is it really worth all that effort? Is it really worth all the dimming yourself down, all of the denying yourself like a genuine connection? Is it really worth all of that for this game, I guess? I just personally love like a good, honest, real conversation, a real connection that isn't predicated on a bunch of manipulation, basically, because I feel like that's kind of what it is. If you're playing this game of acting uninterested, kind of like the cat and the mouse thing, like it's kind of manipulation. And
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
But let's not forget that it's these same types of women that will always make excuses for the men that are super attractive. They will always make those excuses. Oh, well, he can come over, in the middle of the night, Netflix and chill any time of the day. But it's so hard for them to justify maybe not going after this super attractive guy, maybe going after the guy that might be a little more quirky. He might be a nerd. He might not be in the best of shape. But I mean, neither are you. So who are you to sit there and act holier than thou like these average men are an inconvenience while you're going after the 10s, 10 out of 10s? Would it be kind of insane to see a guy that would be on the same level she is looks wise making a video like this about random women? That would seem I kind of think about that sometimes when I see these videos. Like, what would it be if like a guy was making this exact same video, this exact same TikTok, and he kind of looked, as unattractive as some of these women look, making these videos, saying some of the same things they say. Can you imagine?
Manipulating a guy into thinking about you more. It's manipulating a guy to becoming more obsessed with you. But it's not breeding connection. It's not breeding love. So I'm just kind of done with all of everybody saying, like, don't be yourself, basically. If you watch the movie, he's just not that into you. I think it gives a good, real life application to this concept of, like, you could play the game.
What? What the fuck? Stop it. Get some help.
Okay, this is where she lost me. If you watch the movie, then it makes it feel like real life. Are we really doing this? I was kind of going along with this video. I was entertaining it. Do not sit here and compare real life situations and how people really think with some movie that a woman wrote depicts the fantasy of what types of men women actually like. This isn't what we're doing here. No, thank you.
Long story short, I think the modern dating scene is dead. This was actually supposed to be my Valentine's Week column, but I didn't want to be too bitter or cynical on a national newspaper, so I guess this stays on TikTok. We are commodifying and disposing of each other at record speeds, and yet we wonder why we can't get into a decent relationship. Of course, I have to give a disclaimer at this point. I'm not speaking for everyone, and there will be outliers. But this beautiful Substack entry by Freya India sums it up perfectly when she says that we currently live in the age of abandonment. Gen Z are starting off on shaky ground, with so many of us growing up in broken homes and isolated communities. It's conditioning us to think that no one has our back, so we can't trust anyone, and we enter the dating scene with a mindset that is automatically oriented towards failure.
Thank you very much.
The best way to describe this, and I know a lot of you guys might have read the book Fight Club or even seen the movie. I think it was in the movie too. But we have evolved into a civilization of single serving. You got your single serving sugars and your creamers for your coffee. Single serving dating. Why not? Single serving relationships. Single serving situationships. Why is that such a far-fetched idea? Even the dating app, it fosters that type of those actions. It encourages this idea that You're going to meet someone maybe once, and then you're going to move on down the list. So even online dating supports the idea of single serving relationships, single serving dating. So this isn't anything new. We've known this for a while.
Many of us growing up in broken homes and isolated communities. It's conditioning us to think that no one has our back, so we can't trust anyone, and we enter the dating scene with a mindset that is automatically oriented towards failure. We think love is a sham and that people will coast in and out of our lives. If our parents couldn't make it work, then what makes us think that we can? Add to that the advent of social media and online dating, which has furthered the dehumanization of our prospects and added to the general feeling of disillusionment around romance and love. When you go on Bumble and Tinder, you don't see people for who they are. You see a tastefully chosen picture or two that is so easily forgotten as soon as you swipe past them. You forget that there are real people behind each profile that could be worth getting to know. But because, as I mentioned, we live in the age of abandonment, we're going into these spaces with a defensive stance.
Hello?
Hello.
Looking for Jen.
Afraid Jen can't see you at the moment. She's very busy.
Is she?
She's a busy Miss Lizzie. Goodbye.
I brought this up in another video a few days ago, I think, where I mentioned that many years ago, it worked out better whenever if the father wasn't available, a lot of times it was the eldest son, or it was the oldest uncle, or the grandfather, or it was one of those who would sort of vet and choose the men that they would want to take their, either their daughters, their nieces, whatever the situation might be, in order to date them. A lot of times it had nothing to do with how these men looked, okay? It was about his character, his ability, and whether he would bring honor to the family. And now we live in multiple generations at this point where women have chosen the men bring into their life. Now we have single moms. Now we have broken homes, broken families. I don't know. It might just be a coincidence, but that's just my opinion. I brought that up several times in several different videos, and I know a lot of people disagree with me about that, but I do think there is a little bit of truth in that. I don't think women can make very good decisions, especially when it comes to choosing men to get involved with and to share a life with. A lot of times those decisions are usually the worst ones they make because they make decisions on emotions.
Immediately, we think that we can't get too attached because the person we're talking to probably isn't getting attached too. And so instead of pursuing a genuine and deep connection with this person, we're simply collecting options, opting for surface level and short-term feelings to pass the time, hopping in and out of talking stages and situationships to make us feel something. Anything, really. This all culminates in a context that is starting to feel more and more like the Hunger Games. I hate it!
Yeah, and this is a female-only experience, by the way. A woman that looks like this, any sort of average-looking female, and I've brought this up a few times. I mean, they can be 3s, 4s, 5s. They'll have plenty of matches on dating apps. These dating apps are going to treat them and give them as many matches and as many conversations as they can handle. And a lot of times they have to comb through the matches. There's just so many that they get overwhelmed. Hundreds and hundreds. Okay. Hundreds and hundreds of matches. Whereas a guy that would probably be on the same level attraction wise as some of these women would get, in a lot of cases, no matches. No, maybe one. Okay. So this is a female-only situation here that they experience. Men do not experience this. Very rarely will they get a match, and even more rarely will they even go out on a date. Okay, a lot of these men won't even chat with another woman on these apps.
To feign nonchalance when our feelings are genuinely hurt. The way we have to learn how to play the field or win the game or one-up the man we're talking to before he could do it to us. And just because I understand why it's happening doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And I know what you're going to tell me, Angel, this is the only option we have. Men have been playing us for so long, so it's time to exact our revenge, da-da-da-da-da. But honestly, if this is what the dating scene looks like today, I would rather not participate. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. I'm not going to police you. I'm not going to shame you and whatever. But I personally just would rather not. Because I do not have the time to entertain 5 or 6 men simultaneously like I'm some customer service representative. I don't want to lead anyone on and pretend like I care about them when I don't just because I like the attention.
And a lot of men are checking out of dating for some of the same reasons, but for their different reasons altogether. Some of these men that do happen to get dates are only being used for food. They're only being used for what they can provide for these women in the short term. And then some more of these men that are still participating in dating, they have realized that dating apps and stuff like this are only used for one thing, and that is what they are using these dating apps for. They're not having hundreds and hundreds of matches. And she is right. The average woman on a dating app will have upwards to 6 men that she is discussing and coming in contact with regularly, simultaneously. Okay, 6 different conversations that she will be. That's why I've always said one man for each day of the week, because in a lot of situations, these women are going on multiple dates, multiple nights a week. They're being entertained by different types of men. So there is no shortage of matches when it comes to dating online for these women. So they get burnt out. That's why they're choosing, with air quotes here, choosing not to do online dating. And men are also choosing not to participate, but for different reasons. A majority of these men just can't participate. Okay, so they are concentrating on themselves, concentrating on their careers, hanging out with their friends. I'll tell you what they're not doing is they're not going on TikTok making 10-minute videos, which we are not going to get to that last video. I think I've seen enough for today. Leave me a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.